अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। उम्मीद करता हूँ तमाम देखने और सुनने वाले खैरियत से होंगे। जैसे कि हम रोज़ाना अगर सेलिब्रिटी करते हैं और डिस्कशन करते हैं और इसी तरह हम जो है वो मज़ीद बात करेंगे। तो आज का हमारा टॉपिक है करप्शन, तो उसी वजह से हम क्रेडिबिलिटी से बात करेंगे, करते हैं क्रेडिबिलिटी में। और आज का जो मुझे है उसका जो डिस्कशन शुरू करते हैं।
Thank you. How about you? Hope you're having an awesome day.
Absolutely. Today, this news and talk about discussion of corruption. This topic related. My first question: it is corruption is a moral failure, system.
From multiple angles. On one hand, it's definitely a moral failure. On the other hand, it's also a systemic issue because it often points to deeper structural problems in institutions. So, in essence, it's both. What angle were you thinking about specifically?
Why is accountability institution fail?
Accountability institutions can struggle with corruption for a few reasons. Sometimes there's a lack of independence, meaning they're influenced by the very systems they're supposed to oversee. Other times, or political pressure to enforce rules consistently. It's a mix of addressing it. If you have more questions or need to dive deeper into
Okay, it is politics, corruption, damage, and the bureaucrats corruption.
That's an interesting comparison. Political corruption and bureaucratic corruption do have different impacts. Political corruption often affects policymaking, public trust, and the overall direction of a country, while bureaucratic corruption can undermine the efficiency and fairness. Different ways. It's definitely a nuanced topic.
Specifically, my question is, does corruption directly contribute to increased poverty?
Actually, when resources that are meant for public services like healthcare, education, get siphoned off through corruption and means less communities in poverty. Additionally, corruption can discourage investment, which is crucial for economic growth. So it definitely plays a role in perpetuating poverty. Corruption in the judiciary can have a profound effect on the justice system. When judges or other judicial officials are corrupt, it undermines the fairness and integrity of legal proceedings. This can lead to biased decisions, lack of accountability, and a general distrust in the legal system. Ultimately, for people to a critical area to address for a healthy society.
What does link between corruption and tax evasion?
Corruption and accept bribes to reduce or eliminate tax liabilities, which encourages tax evasion. On the flip side, when people see that others are getting away with not paying taxes due to corruption, they might be more inclined services.
Or how corruption become threat national security?
Country more exposed to threats. Um, Additionally, it can foster environment thrive, as corrupt officials might turn a blind eye to illicit activities. In short, corruption can erode the very foundation.
To what extent can legalization reduce corruption?
Digital big role in reducing corruption. By moving processes on automated systems can reduce the need for human intermediaries, which is often where corruption sneaks in. It also allows for better monitoring and accountability. And if done well, it can make corruption much more difficult to perpetrate. Of course, it's not a magic bullet, but it's definitely a powerful tool in the fight against corruption.
Yula said that some government employees and toward corruption.
Absolutely. Incentivizing employees can be greatly compensated and their efforts are recognized. They're generally more motivated to act ethically. This can
It is a zero tolerance policy against corruption practically achievable.
a zero tolerance policy against corruption is an admirable goal. And while it's challenging to achieve perfectly in practice, it's definitely possible to get very close. It requires a combination of strong institutions, transparency, accountability, and a culture that genuinely discourages corrupt behavior. It also helps to have robust enforcement mechanisms and a clear system of rewards and consequences. While it might be tough to completely eliminate all instances of corruption, aiming for zero tolerance definitely sets a high standard and can lead to a much cleaner, more ethical environment.
Should accountability be limited only politicians?
And even nonprofits. When accountability is limited to just politics, it can create blind spots and allow corruption or inefficiency to flourish in other areas. A holistic system of Rome. So it's definitely best to spread that accountability around.
Can corruption be limited without institutional reform?
Institutional reform is key. The underlying institutions, like making sure they're transparent, accountable, and independent, it's tough to achieve lasting change. Reforms help ensure that the system is in place and that there are real consequences for unethical behavior. So while measures like toughness and for truly reducing Got it. We can definitely keep exploring these topics, especially in the context of Pakistan. It's a really important and complex issue, and I'm always here to dive deeper whenever you'd like.
Type of corruption.
It sounds like you were about to ask about. Got it. Long-term solutions to tackle corruption often involve a combination, so they remain awareness can also help cultivate a culture of technology for transparency, a strong systems accountable, all contribute to long-lasting change progress.
Can corruption, what are the more
Corruption is definitely a complex issue, but
what are
it
the
makes some of the countries that are known for having low indexes, like Denmark, New Zealand, and Finland. On the other end, more with corruption tend to have systemic challenges like or पाकिस्तान की हालिया करप्शन परसेप्शंस इंडेक्स 2024 में 27 points जो कि गुज़िश्ता साल के मुकाबले में स्कोर में थोड़ी सी कमी आई है काफ़ी कम है तो
इस बात की ज़रूरत है कि शफाफियत को मज़ीद बढ़ाया जाए।
And this year, 27%
Of the most